You were created for something more. Some days you're chasing your dreams. Other days you wonder if you took a wrong turn. Welcome to the Faithfully Empowered podcast. I'm Lisa Landry. Let's trade self-doubt for bold faith and step fully into the life God designed for us. New episodes every Thursday. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Let's live faithfully empowered. Hi, friend. Welcome back to the Faithfully Empowered podcast. I'm Lisa Landry. Today, I want to have a conversation about something that's been happening in my own life, and maybe you felt it too. You step out in obedience and you start moving forward into what God has called you to do, and suddenly it feels like the hits just keep coming. One thing after another. July for me was unexpected medical bills, unexpected expenses, and more than a few sleepless nights where I was just wondering, how am I going to handle all of this? And it wasn't just the physical stuff that was hard, it was the mental and spiritual stuff that came with it as well. I am still very triggered in a doctor's office. 35 years of experience as a patient in the U.S. healthcare system will do that to you. When you've had decades of appointments, procedures, and conversations where you have to fight to be heard, you develop a kind of guardedness. Some might call it cynicism. I call it boundaries. Boundaries that say, I know my body, I know my history, and I will not be dismissed. Boundaries that ask clear questions and don't let someone's white coat automatically override my own discernment. But here's where it gets tricky. The enemy loves to twist those boundaries into something heavier. Instead of just standing firm, those moments can fill with doubt, fear, and frustration. I could hear the whispers. You shouldn't have quit your job. If you were still working, it wouldn't be a problem to pay for any of this. You're overreacting. Just take the prescription and stop asking questions. And if I'm not careful, those whispers can take me from healthy boundaries to unhealthy suspicion, from discernment to defeat. That's the thing about spiritual attack. It's rarely obvious. It's subtle. It sounds like your own voice, and it dresses itself up like logic. The enemy doesn't have to destroy your health or finances to stop you. He just has to convince you that it's not worth it to keep going. And when you're building something that God asked you to build, those thoughts hit harder. Because the truth is, the enemy is not threatened by comfort. He's threatened by obedience. So how do you tell the difference between legitimate concern and a lie meant to take you out? For me, it comes back to personal relationship with God. The closer I stay to Him in prayer, in His Word, and through regular conversation throughout my day, the quicker that I can recognize when His voice doesn't sound right. Jesus said in John 10:27, "My sheep listen to my voice. I know them and they follow me." That means if thought brings fear, condemnation, or hopelessness, that's not coming from God. And here's the other thing. That relationship with God helps me to shape my boundaries. It keeps them healthy. It lets me stand up for myself without shutting people out. It reminds me that advocacy doesn't have to turn into bitterness. Without that relationship, I might mistake the enemy's lies for truth and even make decisions based on that. But with it, I can say with confidence, no, that's not the voice of my shepherd. I'm not following that. When doubt hits, I've had to speak the truth out loud. Verses like Philippians 4:19, "My God will meet all your needs according to the riches of His glory in Christ Jesus." Or 2 Timothy 1:7, "For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of sound mind. And I remind myself, I didn't call myself into this business. God did. And if he called me, he will equip me and provide for me. That doesn't mean that it'll be easy, but I know that quitting isn't the answer, because the enemy would love nothing more than to stop me before the breakthrough. Maybe you felt this too. You start stepping into something that God has called you to, and suddenly everything feels harder. You face resistance, unexpected bills, strained relationships, and maybe just a wave of discouragement. Friend, that's not proof that you're in the wrong place. It's actually probably confirmation that you're in the right one. Stay close to him. Let your relationship with him be so strong that you can recognize the lies for what they are. Set boundaries that keep you healthy, but don't let those boundaries keep the truth out. If you're in a season where it feels like the enemy is trying to make you quit, I'd love to pray for you. Send me a message so that we can stand together in faith. And this week, when doubt comes knocking, pause and ask, does this sound like the voice of my shepherd? If it doesn't, don't follow it. Because your personal relationship with God isn't just a comfort. It's your defense, it's your discernment, and it's your anchor in the middle of a storm. Thanks for spending time with me today. If this episode encouraged you, I'd love to hear from you. Share it with a friend, leave a comment, or let me know where you're tuning in from. And don't forget to like and subscribe so you'll never miss what's next. Looking for more encouragement and resources? Head over to faithfullyempowered.com and get access to the latest tools to grow in faith and confidence. And until next time, stay rooted, stay expectant, and live faithfully empowered.